For 36 years, the box sat untouched in the basement of the Midvale County Sheriff's Department, its cardboard edges soft from moisture, its label fading under layers of dust. Inside were the remains of a mystery that had haunted a town and destroyed a family. A mystery everyone assumed would stay buried forever. That was before technology changed everything. Before we dive into the main story, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the bell notification button for more interesting video like this. Detective Avery Locke, a man who'd spent 2 decades chasing ghosts, found the box on what should have been an ordinary Tuesday. It wasn't assigned to her. It wasn't even logged in the digital system. It just fell off a shelf. Inside were crime scene photos so old the edges curled like dead leaves. A blood-stained sweater wrapped in brittle evidence tape. And a cassette recording from an interview with the last known witness, an interview no one had ever entered into the official case files. The victim's name was Emily Harren, a 17-year-old girl who vanished walking home from a football game in 1989. Her body was discovered 3 weeks later in the woods near Miller's Creek. The official report said lack of leads. Local newspapers called it a tragic wrong place, wrong time. But the moment Avery opened that box, she noticed something else. The sweater wasn't listed anywhere in the evidence inventory. It wasn't supposed to exist. And that was only the first lie. Back in 1989, DNA analysis was barely more advanced than flipping a coin. A partial print meant nothing. A single fiber meant even less. Detectives depended on eyewitnesses, most of whom couldn't even remember what they had for breakfast. The case died quickly. But now, with modern forensic tech, touch DNA, genomic genealogy, AI-powered voice analysis, the dead have a way of talking again. And Emily Harren was finally ready to speak. Avery sent the mysterious sweater to the state lab. She expected contamination. She expected nothing. What she didn't expect was this. Detective Locke, we found DNA. Fresh DNA. The type that doesn't belong to a victim. The type that doesn't just appear. The type that ties a person to a crime scene, whether they want it or not. And the match? A man who had never been a suspect. A man who'd never even appeared in the original investigation. A man the system had completely ignored. But here's the part that made the entire lab go silent. He was related to someone who was in the original investigation. Someone who had given a tearful statement. Someone who had been seen comforting the victim's family. Someone who had moved away right after the funeral. Someone who had sworn they had nothing to do with the case. Then Avery listened to the old cassette tape. A shaky voice. A nervous laugh. A story that contradicted the written report in 3 different places. And halfway through the tape, a second voice whispered something too faint to hear clearly. She enhanced the audio using modern software, filtering out the hum of the old recorder. And then, it came through. A single sentence. A name. A name that should have cracked the case in 1989. A name someone had deliberately erased from every page. A name that suddenly matched the new DNA results. As Avery dug deeper, she discovered missing files, altered reports, and statements that had been signed, but never actually written by the people whose names appeared on them. Someone in law enforcement had buried the truth. Someone who might still be alive. Someone who might still be watching her now. Phones clicked in her office line. Her car alarm went off in the middle of the night. A note slipped under her door, just 4 handwritten words. Stop digging. Let her go. But Avery didn't stop. Because Emily hadn't had a voice in 1989. Now she did. 3 days before the case was scheduled to be reopened publicly, Avery received the full genealogical DNA breakdown. Not 1 match. Not 2. 4 connections. For people tied biologically to the new evidence. For people who shared a genetic link that shouldn't have been possible. And the most shocking part? They were all tied to a single family in Midvale. A respected family. A powerful family. A family whose patriarch had been a sheriff's deputy, assigned to Emily's case. Suddenly the cover-ups made sense. Suddenly the missing evidence wasn't a mystery. Suddenly every lie had a face. But here's the twist, the person whose DNA was found on the sweater. He was born 5 years after Emily's death. Which means only one thing. Someone in that family kept the sweater. Someone in that family handled it years later. Someone in that family knows the truth, and may have inherited more than just DNA. When Detective Avery Locke walked into the press conference, cameras flashed like lightning. Reporters leaned forward, sensing a story bigger than any of them expected. The Emily Harren case, she announced, has officially been reopened due to new forensic technology. Gasps. Murmurs. Shock. But Avery didn't tell the public everything. Not the family name. Not the fresh DNA. Not the whisper on the tape. Because some secrets are too dangerous to release until the final moment. And the killer, or their blood, is still out there. Watching. Waiting. Hoping this time, the truth stays buried. But it won't. Because technology doesn't forget. And the dead don't stay silent. Want more stories like this? Want more stories like this? Hit like and subscribe so you don't miss any of our story, because this is just getting started.